Sometimes it's dark and I don't have a light and I don't know which way to go. I'm turned around and I feel lost and I feel confused. I don't know what direction's right. I don't know where the danger is. There's danger all around. Oh, hi there. Welcome back to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. Expert at nothing, I think. There might be a couple things I'm an expert at. Talking smack? No, I'm not an expert smack talker. I'm not witty enough. This is gonna be a little bit of a rant. I had been having this thought and I use my phone. I use the note application, and when I have thoughts or random thoughts or things that passing thoughts that I think are valuable and I want to address them later or dig into them later, or I just don't want to forget. I don't want to forget this thing that passed through my mind. It came to me somehow. I jot it down in my note app, and then, you know, I've got a whole collection of that stuff, and sometimes I revisit it, sometimes I don't. This is what I'm making this video about. Because look, let's be honest, I have to offset my like crazy adventures and photo shoots and traveling around, and that takes a lot of editing. I need to start offsetting that a little more with me just sitting here ranting and talking, I guess. Some people only do those kind of videos. I don't do it very often, but it's a whole lot easier to do this than to run around and take pictures and then sit down and edit that for a long time. It's not as fun though, and this kind of stresses me out more, but let's get into this. Here, I don't have a game plan here. Let me just read you what I wrote. I wasn't gonna do this, but now I'm gonna do this. Let me read you what I wrote, because this sums it up. And why do I need to beat around the bush and try and get to this point? Got my reading glasses on. This is what I wrote in my notepad. I don't know, this was about 3-4 weeks ago. I've been really busy. Your story is your own. This is true. That's the title of the note that I wrote. Your story is your own. You get online and you start talking smack and people come to you for advice. But you're not me and I'm not you. Your story is your own. Your path is unique. I understand wanting to know some best practices, wanting to see the way. Some light in the dark, dark night. So dramatic. I'm not your light. I'm just wandering around in the darkness as much as I ever was. Okay. Okay. Boy, where to begin with that, Ben? It's just that the older I get, the more I realize, okay, look, we want to know the path. We see people out there and we see maybe they're doing something that you wish you were doing or you wish you could find a way to do. You want to know how they got there. It's natural. This is how we evolved. We evolved by learning from the people that came before. Don't go to that side of the river. There's a lion that lives over there and it's going to eat you if you go over there. So just stay on this side of the river. Maybe you'll live longer. This is how we evolved. We got smarter, we started communicating, we started scratching in the dirt, and drawing on the walls of caves, and I've talked about this a lot because I'm fascinated by it. All these tools that we have nowadays, they're just a fancier way to draw on the walls of caves. So it's in our DNA to want to learn, to want to see the path, to want to know where are the obstacles, how can I avoid them, how can I find the path of least resistance. The path of least resistance is never the most interesting path. You ever think about, you know, some of the best stories that you have, they were miserable in the moment. Some of the coolest stuff and the stuff I talk about, stories I tell, experiences I've had, they really sucked when they were happening, but they make good stories later. The experience is the point. The path, the valuable path, is the difficult one. Your path is yours and yours alone. And you can try and walk somebody else's path, but you're not them, they're not you. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. We all have our own unique cocktail of, well, just physical DNA, who our parents were, where we came from, what we were born into. Like, I grew up pretty poor. I've talked about this in the channel. I had an outhouse. Actually, until I was 20 years old. Had to go out in the snow and shovel a path to the outhouse. Big deal. I never went hungry and I'm healthy. I'm physically as capable as anybody. You know, a white male in America. Dude, the deck is stacked in my favor. I've been places in the world and seen people, and many of them probably far more talented than me, far more physically capable, just didn't have the advantages that I have. I think if you're watching this YouTube channel, you have fantastic advantages. That's an assumption. May not be true in every case, but for the most part, if you're watching this YouTube video right now, dude, the deck is stacked in your favor. And I understand you wanting to go to people who you think are doing something cool, or doing something you want to do, or have done things that you would like to do, and you want to ask them for advice, you want to know the way. But this is natural, and maybe there's some wisdom to be had there. Hey, try this, don't try this. But the older I get, the more I realize that all that's kind of bullshit. Yes, it is. It is. The more I plan, the more I try and figure things out, the more I try and scheme, and it doesn't work. The magic just happens because you're out doing things, and you're making efforts, and you're trying, and you're gonna fail. And sometimes things in the moment, they look like a fantastic failure. When you get a little perspective, you get a little distance, you can start to see how things lay out, and yeah, maybe that things are tragic and they don't work out and they are failures. Oftentimes some magic comes out of those things. So I guess what I meant to say is, like, nobody knows what the hell's going on. Some people get lucky, some don't. Some people work harder than others. That doesn't always matter. Some people are more talented than others. I don't think I'm very talented at all. I work really freaking hard. I see people who I think don't work very hard at all and get lucky a lot. Of course, we all see people we think, they're not that great. They got lucky. Okay. Why don't I get lucky? I'm sure I've gotten lucky times that I don't even realize. Actually, I know there's a few times I've gotten lucky. Sometimes I've gotten very unlucky. It's random. Keep trying, keep swinging. Am I making my point here? Let me go back to what I was originally saying. Your path is your own. Your path is unique. I understand wanting to know some best practices, wanting to see the way, some light in the dark, dark night. I'm not your light. I'm just wandering around in the darkness as much as I ever was. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to empower you. I'm trying to inspire you to look inward, look at your own life, look at your own surroundings, look at your own skill set, and realize that's what you have that nobody else has. Those things. And you might think, oh, I live in some small town in the middle of nowhere. I want to go out and I want to see the world and I want to do all these. Your power, your strength, your advantage over everybody else on the planet comes from where you're at, where you've come from. Your own unique characteristics. I believe this. I didn't always realize this till the last couple of years, really. Did not. I believe it more than ever now. I'm leaning into it. Let's talk about this. I'd love to talk about this. Do you like these rant videos? I keep thinking I need to do more. It's kind of scary though, you know. Now I'm being vulnerable. This is me being vulnerable. For me, it's scary to sit down in front of a camera, and I sort of have some bullet points or a rough idea of what I want to say, but half the time I don't really know, and I don't have a teleprompter like some fancy YouTubers, because I'm not really a YouTuber. I do make videos. I'm out here trying to tell stories, I'm trying to figure it out, I'm trying to keep my eye on the path, and sometimes it's murky, sometimes it's overgrown, sometimes it's dark and I don't have a light and I don't know which way to go. I'm turned around and I feel lost and I feel confused. I don't know what direction's right. I don't know where the danger is. There's danger all around. Can I ever get out of this? This is the path of the artist. One thing that's certain is you're going to be uncertain much of the time. So it's good. Look to other people, ask them for advice. It's not going to help you very much. And the source of your power is you and where you've come from and your own unique story and skill set. That's it. Thanks for watching. Let's talk about it. I'll see you soon.